Welcome to Community Connections. I'm Tom Laux, and today in the studio I have Doug Wenzlaff, CEO of Solarus, and Tari Jahns of United Way of Inner Wisconsin. And Doug is the 2014 campaign chair, and we're going to get to know him a bit better. But first, Tari's going to tell about us when the campaign kicked off and how long it's going to go. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Tari.
Our campaign officially kicked off on September 1st, and our goal is to be wrapped up by November 21st. However, often campaigns run a little longer than that, so we usually run until the end of the year.
Alrighty, well, we're taping this on a Tuesday. McDonald's Day happened yesterday, just in case the viewers are wanting to know when this was taped. How did that go?
The day went great. We had many community supporters come out. We're very thankful to McDonald's and the local ownership for their support. Everyone who came out, all of our volunteers, and just all the patrons who we saw some people there 3 times, all in one day. So, we were really thankful that tradition has continued for 42 years.
Alrighty, well, that's really the big kickoff of the year for your campaign. Let's talk about how some individual can help donate to United Way, and then we'll talk about how area businesses can get involved as well.
Absolutely. So there's many different mechanisms that someone can use to give. If you're an individual and you're not connected with a workplace that has a campaign, we'd be happy to help you start a workplace campaign, but perhaps you're a retiree or something like that. You have the opportunity to call United Way. You could visit our website, which is uwiw.org, and you can give if you choose through credit card, debit card, ACH withdrawal from your checking or savings account. You can make a one-time gift. You can be billed. We really make every effort to make it as easy and convenient as possible for the donor to give to the campaign. Those community investment dollars are very meaningful and are impacting nearly 19,000 people in our communities through the 37 programs and then many community coalitions and initiatives that United Way is part of.
Alrighty, well, let's talk to Doug here, 2014 campaign chair, but first, Tari, campaign chairs change every year, is that correct?
That's correct. Each year we select a new campaign chair, and last year when I was at Solarus doing their campaign presentation with our chair from last year, I was listening to Doug talk with his employees, and it just was, it just hit me, and I was like, he needs to be talking to everyone in the community. So, so we asked him, and he very graciously agreed to help us out.
Well, Doug, what a great fit. You're from the area. Let's talk about why you chose to become the 2014 chair.
Absolutely. I mean, as you said, I'm from the area. I was born and raised in the Wisconsin Rapids area, and I consider myself fortunate. It's such a wonderful place to live with so many great things going for it. I mean, from amenities, from recreation to one of the things that I marvel at this time of year is when I drive into work, I see little kids walking to school by themselves, and I marvel at the fact that it's still a safe enough place that kids can do that. And I don't think we have an appreciation for that, on an everyday, day in and day out basis. So, I mean, it's a phenomenal place to live, but yet, on the other hand, there are people that have significant needs in the area. And for me, for an area that's provided and given me so much and provided so much opportunity, I feel like it's my obligation to give back and to try to ensure that a community like this is there for my children and their children's children.
Well, you have a campaign at Solarus. Let's talk about businesses here. Let's similarity to yours and how other businesses can help support United Way.
Sure. We've had a campaign for years at Solarus. I started at Solarus 31 years ago, started giving to United Way as soon as I started working at Solarus. So it's been a part of my life for a long time. After I became CEO, I talked to our board of directors and said, what if we had always given a corporate gift plus done a business campaign for our employees? I said, what if we change things up a little bit, and as our corporate gift, we match our employees' gifts dollar for dollar? And the board agreed to that, and it's made a tremendous impact in our giving from our employees, because they understand that every dollar that they give becomes $2. And again, we I think communicate fairly well how impactful every dollar that United Way gets is, and the wonderful things that they can do with every dollar that they get.
All righty. Well, if someone wants to get to know more about you, you're right on uwiw.org's website. Tells you a little bit about yourself here and why you chose, as well as what you said here. But yeah, great. Thanks for helping out United Way, and greatly appreciate it. I'm sure the community does as well.
My privilege.
Yes. Let's talk a little bit about throughout the year your plans are as campaign chair, what a campaign chair does for United Way, and then Tari can fill in as well.
Well, besides exactly what Tari tells me to do. No, it's the biggest part is during the campaign and getting out and meeting with the other businesses, and hopefully this year we can get some new businesses to have campaigns within their business. There's a number of ways to do that other than just standing up there and asking your employees to give. There's some options on the website and that kind of thing for how to run a campaign. And you can have a lot of fun with the campaigns. But I think my primary role is to make sure that people understand how much this impacts the people in our community. And it's so widespread that probably almost everybody, whether they know it or not, knows someone who has been impacted by one of the agencies that United Way works with. And any one of us any day could have a need for help from one of those agencies.
Exactly. Tari, let's talk about agencies. How many are supported, and is it Southwood County? Is it Wisconsin Rapids? How far does the funding that people donate go towards?
So our service area for United Way of Inner Wisconsin is Southwood and Adams counties, but we do keep those campaigns separate. So the dollars raised in Southwood County just support programs in Southwood County, and so for us that includes Wisconsin Rapids, Rudolph, Vesper, Nakusa, Port Edwards. That's really the Southwood County in the United Way world, how we divide the county in half, and then the dollars raised in Adams help fund programs in the Adams area. We have 37 local programs that we work with, and they all fit into one of 4 areas: either education, income, health, or safety net services. And so the first 3, education, income, and health, are really meant to be more root cause programs, and how do we help people, not just put a Band-Aid on something, but how do we help them change and look at systemic change and really, try to turn people's lives around, change their family tree, make their life better, for the long term. And then also recognizing, though, that we need to support some programs in the safety net service area of emergency shelter and emergency food, and that those, that we are going to continue to have hunger issues and shelter issues. And so that's really how the allocations are made of the community investment dollars, and that's done by a team of volunteers actually in the spring of the year. So those dollars are earmarked or set aside, so to speak, ahead of time, and then the job that Doug and I have is to raise those dollars so that we have them to start giving out to those programs starting on January 1st. And so it's really important. You spoke earlier about businesses and getting involved and why, and I think that many businesses in our community, not just Solarus, many others also recognize that they want their employees to work and live in a vibrant community that where families do well and people are happy and they're smiling and life feels good to people, and many companies recognize that as well. And one of the ways, certainly not the only way, but one of the meaningful ways that can be done is through an investment in United Way. Sometimes that investment is time, volunteerism, and helping your neighbors, and more often that investment is making a financial donation of some kind, whatever is meaningful. Another important thing to note about our programs is that there's an accountability piece that goes with those programs. So we don't, take lightly, especially that volunteer team does not take lightly where those dollars get allocated. So if they have, if they have $450,000 to allocate, they're very intentional about how that looks, where it goes, what need it's meeting in the community. And then if that program has the ability to report back to us quarterly and to say, what's working, what's not working, here's the outcomes. We want this to happen, and this is how many people will be impacted. And so that's something that we work really closely with those agencies providing the programs to make sure that they can deliver. And sometimes they're struggling and they can't, and so we can work with them. We can partner them up with another agency. We can help them to reevaluate a program. And you'd be amazed how very, very thin these partner programs can stretch a dollar. I mean, they really work hard, and many of them work at or near their capacity. You know, they just don't even have the ability to serve another person. And so, you know, we definitely applaud their efforts, and we have a lot of really great partners in the community.
Terry, give me some examples of partner programs that United Way does.
In the area of education, we have several in all of our areas, but in education, some examples might be the Boys and Girls Club. We support their general program and how that impacts youth. Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, those would be a few examples. In income, we have a financial stability program that's provided through the Wood County Extension, and then also a scholarship aid program through child caring. In the area of health, we support the YMCA, and that's general membership support so that families have access to healthy activities. And then Park Place Adult Day Service, which is an opportunity for respite care for family members. In safety net services, that's food and shelter. So we think about, we help fund programs like the Family Center, North Central Community Action Program, which helps with housing assistance. In food, the neighborhood table, which many in our community are familiar with. And then there's also 2 backpack programs that are serving elementary age students in the Nakusa School District and Wisconsin Rapids to make sure that there's food in the house over the weekend.
Alrighty, well, you guys do a lot of support in our community. The agencies, they change every year? Is that something you sit and talk with the agency or partner programs, I should say, every year before money is allocated?
We do have those discussions, and we are a zero-based funder, so basically what we're saying is you're funded for that year, and we don't guarantee that you're funded thereafter. That being said, though, we have a lot of long-term partners because they're addressing, you know, what is felt to be the greatest needs in the community, and we determine those needs through community conversations, surveys, you know, and talking with people. Our partner agencies, because they're on the ground, they know what's happening, and then also using some data. You know, there's important documents like the Vital Signs report that comes out from Encourage, which is completely local to our area. So we really try to use a good cross-section of information to make those decisions, but often we have some long-term partners because they're addressing the greatest needs in the community.
Alrighty, well, thanks, Terry, for that information. Doug, let's talk back about your campaign at Solarus and maybe talk about some of the things you've done in the past. Maybe that'll help some of the businesses that might want to do. Because it can be a lot of fun for some of the employees to get involved. It just doesn't have to be fill out the sheet, turn it in, and it's over.
Right.
What can happen?
Yeah, I mean, you can have a lot of fun with it. You know, I mean, a couple of years ago we did a deal in addition to the normal pledge stuff that we do. Where we raised money, employees could contribute, and whoever had the most money in their jar from our executive team had to get their head shaved. And we had an event one evening at Bullseye, and what it turned out to be is people running around collecting enough money that night that all 4 of us ended up getting our head shaved that night. So, I mean, that's something fun you can do. I know some of the other workplace things have, you know, luncheons, things like that. You can do, you know, you can turn it into a contest. You can have a chili cook-off contest and have an award winner and then sell the chili, and the proceeds from that go to your campaign. You know, all those kinds of things. And this year, one of the things that we're doing as an incentive for our employees is through our relationship with Bo Ryan from the UW basketball team, we've gotten some autographed Bo Ryan things. So for those that contribute, that haven't contributed before, or those that increase their giving, they'll be put in a drawing to win some autographed Bo Ryan stuff from our workplace. So.
Alrighty, and Terry, there's a sweepstakes. You've been having that the past few years. Share a little bit about that. This
will be our 3rd annual sweepstakes, and the goal of this program is to draw new dollars to the campaign. So just like Doug just said, for those who increase, give more if they've never given before, they make the decision to give. For the sweepstakes, if you give 26 new dollars to the campaign, you are entered in to win. We have 5 $1,000 cash prizes that donors can be awarded. 2 of those are for Adams County, and in Adams they're sponsored by Heartland Farms and Timber Shores, and then here in Southwick County the prizes are sponsored by Riverview Family Clinic and River Cities Bank. And so those companies have said, you know, we understand, we recognize the need to draw new donors and to get new people involved with the campaign. New dollars for those who have been existing donors. If they make an increase, they have the opportunity to win. So it's been a fun opportunity for us to get out and award those prizes. We kind of do it like a publisher's clearinghouse thing, come in with a big check and balloons, and it's been a great opportunity, and the sponsor of the prize is who awards the prize. So we come along, but then you have, whomever that business is has the opportunity to award the prize to the individual. And it's been very well received. It has helped us this last year's campaign in 2013. It was right around $60,000 new dollars to the campaign. So it's very significant, and it has a huge impact. And what we find not just in the United Way, but in charitable giving as a whole, is that we're seeing less donors. So we're seeing more donors. We're seeing fewer donors giving more. And what's happening for us, especially, we see maybe donors pass away. We have people who retire from the workplace, and perhaps we lose a connection with them. And so we really look at this as a way to pick up new donors and to have people give it a try and see what it's about, and then we have the opportunity to communicate with them throughout the year, put information in their hands, similar as what we're sharing with you today.
Alrighty. Some cities have goals, and they have thermometers. We've seen them. We've had them here in the past. Is there a goal number, or do you guys look at it a little bit differently?
We haven't used the thermometer type of approach for about 8 years now, and the reason behind that is it's very important, obviously, to set a goal, have a goal, reach the goal, exceed the goal. Those are very important, but we really want to think about it from the standpoint of impact. And so how many lives are we impacting? How many people? Because let's just say the goal was $800,000 and we only raised $750,000. That's still doing a lot of very, very meaningful work in the community. And so many communities have gone away from the thermometer approach. We, of course, do have a goal where we want to raise $612,000. It's just not our focus. I'd rather focus on 19,000 people will be impacted with that money than actually, really pounding hard to really get to a dollar number, because there's impact no matter how many dollars that we're able to raise.
All right. Throughout the next few months, there's businesses and places that have activities. Are there any activities that are open to the public? Any new brat fries or ice cream socials that you know of coming up?
Not that I'm aware of,
Okay.
Although I will say on October 3rd is a community-wide denim day that we have been doing for a while. We had a local business approach us a few years ago and say, our employees don't get to wear jeans to work, but if you did it bigger, if you try to get the whole community involved, then we would allow our team to do it. So if you make a $5 donation, you can wear denim, and that's the push there, is kind of to be community-wide. We have a staff person at United Way that will come out and photograph your group, and for social media purposes, and to push it out on Facebook or wherever you might want to use that photo, saying that you're supporting United Way that day. So that's the thing coming up in the nearest future. That would be an open event. We have several companies that do some of the things that Doug described before, and other events that are coming up, but they're not necessarily always open for the public to participate.
Right. Well, you had your brat fry. You have them pretty much every Labor Day.
Every Labor Day weekend,
How did that go?
It went very well. We were very busy. It was a little bit of a rainy day, so I think people were kind of getting their. It was the Saturday of the holiday weekends. People were kind of getting their tasks done, maybe getting their groceries for the weekend, and so we did very well.
All right. Well, people can always be a friend of your Facebook page on Facebook to find out maybe activities that may just come up. They happen and they're open to the public. I'm sure you'll let them know, and as well as uwiw.org, updated every week or more. Let people know what's going on. Now, if someone wants to get involved and have a campaign they didn't have before, call the office.
Absolutely, they can call us, email, whatever makes sense for them, to reach out. But we'd be happy to sit down with anybody. We actually sat down with a company this morning who they have had a campaign in the past, but it's been many years, and it was just basically something, from what I understand, just in a changeover of leadership over the years, and just a not really understanding or knowing about United Way. So we had the opportunity to meet with them, and now they're on board to have an employee campaign. So even if you're not sure, we'd be happy to sit down and talk with anybody. And you don't just have to talk with us. I'm sure we could get Doug or another supporting business leader in the community to sit down and talk with somebody to say, here's why it's important.
Do you think it really helps bring employee morale, fun with employees, who is just something a little bit different from the norm?
I do. I mean, I think it can be a little bit of a team building experience, just kind of outside, like you say, outside the norm of the routine day-to-day business stuff. I mean, here's something different we're doing, and again, you know, you can take it to, we do it this way, or we have all kinds of fun with it and do a lot of other things. I mean, raffle baskets, all kinds of stuff. So you can kind of sculpt that to what you think is right for your business.
Right, because happy employees always help drive up business. I always think that helps a lot, bring employee morale, and it's just a fun thing to do maybe on a Friday for an hour. That's all it takes, and it's just something different from the norm. And it's easy, and there's ideas all around. They can ask United Way for those ideas, simple as an ice cream social or something like that. You can go buy a bucket of ice cream from a grocery store for $4 or $5, and you can go a long ways, and they can donate to that. So simple, fun ideas, or a pie in the face like I took about 6 years ago at the Tribune.
I remember.
Yeah. But haven't done that yet here at the city, but you know, maybe sometime again we'll have some fun like that for the city. But anything else that you guys would like to share that I missed, Doug, on as being campaign chair this year, and Tari for the campaign? I'll let you go.
Well, I think just, you know, to your point about even if it's an hour on a Friday or something to have a little fun, it doesn't have to be a huge campaign. As Tari mentioned, these agencies stretch these dollars so far. It's just incredible. And, you know, the ones that we visited and looked at are, as she said, they're at capacity and have more demand. They just don't have the funding to do that. So every dollar counts. So even like you say, an ice cream social, I mean, go buy a couple of buckets of ice cream and sell ice cream cones to your employees for $1 in a Friday afternoon or something, you know, and every one of those dollars would count and can have a major impact.
Exactly. Okay.
It's interesting when chatting with people about why they don't give or why they're not a donor, and the most common response that we get is because I wasn't asked. And so I think that that's something that's important, is that for people to recognize out in the community who might be watching this, that, you know, Doug and I are here asking. We're asking people to get involved, to reach in their wallet or handbag, and, you know, whatever is meaningful, to consider making a donation to United Way. And we certainly are not the only, you know, the only nonprofit out there that's looking for funds, but we really do our best to support as many as we can that are addressing the greatest needs. And so short of going door to door to every residence, you know, we don't always have the ability to ask every single person, but, you know, if that's what's holding someone back, your donation is more than welcome and appreciated.
Well, you guys make it easy. It's easy if you're working for a company that wants to do it through their payroll. That can be done? Is that correct?
Absolutely.
And, you know, you buy a soda or a can of pop, $1. You know, think of that $1 out, even if $1 or $2 out of every paycheck 2 times. It's really pretty small amount. You don't know it's gone.
It's pretty easy, and
So.
like you said, just give up one thing. You know, maybe you don't pick up coffee that day, or don't eat out lunch one day of the week, or, you know, whatever it is, something that's meaningful to you that you can turn around and give back.
Right. No amount is too small. Like you say, they use those dollars, even if it's $1. They figure a way to stretch that and make it happen. So if everyone donated $1 in the community, it really would just grow.
Absolutely.
And $1 isn't a lot nowadays anymore, and even, you know, goes fast. So, but thanks for both of you coming by, sharing information about United Way, and good luck with the campaign, and have fun as a campaign chair this year. It's 2014. It'll go by fast.
It will.
And appreciate coming by the studio and sharing all that information for our viewers.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thank you.